Hello and welcome. In this video I'm going to go over why the importance of looks is so understated with regard to dating in 2021. So if you've ever been in a position where you've asked other people for dating advice, they will likely give you these what I call blue pill ideas, which is like prioritizing your personality, being kind, generous, being a good gentleman, or you might sometimes hear red pill ideas, which will tell you being confident and becoming a better man, improving yourself, working on yourself, going to the gym is more important. You'll rarely ever hear these black pill ideas about looks being important. People will really shy away from that. So in this video I'm going to outline 6 of the biggest reasons why the black pill is still underrepresented in 2021, even though there is like huge data to suggest and reasons which I've outlined in the 2 previous videos for why the black pill is most likely going to become more prominent and is already taking a huger impact in the current dating market. So before I start, I'm just going to provide some evidence. So it's absolutely pointless me dropping a bunch of reasons with nothing to back it up. Otherwise I'm just making loads of claims and accusations with no evidence. It always goes evidence first and then reasoning and explanation afterwards. So, how can we gather this evidence? Well, when it comes to dating, obviously people do have their different beliefs. I've mentioned the 3 main ideologies: blue pill, red pill and black pill, but there's no real way of measuring that. It's not like politics where all you have to do is just ask what party somebody votes for, and then you have the data come from there. 30% vote for this party, 30% vote for this party, and 5% vote for this party. So the way I'm going to go about this, here I've selected a variety of what I would consider blue pill channels. They promote blue pill ideas. So obviously we have Disney, which has been making movies for the last 100 years, which very much promote these blue pill ideas of being kind and having a good personality is the key to attracting women. Then we have other channels: Jubilee, Psych2Go, BuzzFeed, and if you've not heard of this one, Classic Splendor, which made the infamous video 8 things that women first noticed in a man, which was brutally debunked by Face and LMS. So these are all of these is what I would consider blue pill ideas. And one thing I also just want to mention, when it comes to the blue pill and also to some extent the red pill, blue pillers won't know what the blue pill is. So you will never see on any of these channels saying, oh yes, we are blue pilled, because it doesn't really work like that. If you ever try to talk to someone who's blue pilled, they won't even know what you're talking about. They'll be like, what pills? What are you talking about? So this video puts into words exactly what I'm talking about when it comes to blue pill ideas. So it was made by Psych2Go a couple of weeks ago. So the first reason, they outline 8 reasons for why you might be in the friend zone, and the first reason they give is that a girl is oblivious to your feelings, and that you need to open up to them. You need to write a long, heartfelt letter showing how much you care. You need to show how much you love them. You need to make sure that you make your intentions clear from the beginning, that you like them, you don't want to be a friend, that you love them. You also need to seem like you're making an effort, so you need to go through all these different things, send them letters, cards, flowers to their door, so these are this entire video, it's unbelievable. When I first opened it up, I thought, oh, maybe I'll be able to pick something from it, but the whole video, and the same goes with all of these other channels that I mentioned, their whole narrative just screams the blue pill. Every single one of these reasons, we're barely 90 seconds into the video, and it's just filled with these blue pill ideas. And now moving on to the red pill. So all of these channels are what I would consider red pill sort of ideas. So they promote things you need to be more confident. They pick different pickup artist techniques. It's about your game. They teach game techniques, and overall they're teaching men how to improve themselves. And similarly to how I mentioned the blue pill. So some of these channels will subscribe to the red pill. They will identify it as red pill. I know for a fact that Darius and Alexander definitely do. I'm not 100% sure on the other ones. Owen Cook might. But I would still say as a whole that they promote red pill ideas. And what do I mean by that? So I picked out Far From Average, which has over 1 million subscribers, and this is what I mean by promoting red pill ideas. So they will tell you, oh, you need to do this, and girls will never ignore you. This is the kind of game that you need. Your attraction style, these behaviours, changing your behaviours will make you more of an alpha male. So it's pretty much if you look at the wording, it's pretty much advocating changes in your behaviour. Do this, change this, your game. It's changes to your mindset and your behaviour that will lead you to success with women. And And now moving on to the Blackpill, like obviously I don't need to go into depth about this. I've just picked out a few channels here, but what I wanted you to notice was the number of subscribers as we went through like all of these, the blue pill channels, the red pill channels, and lastly the black pill channels. So what I've done here, I've like compiled the top 3 channels for each ideology when it comes to the blue pill, red pill, and black pill. And when we look at the blue pill, we see that like we're talking in millions, like tens of millions of subscribers for each one. So 20 million for BuzzFeed, 6 mil, 5 mil. So like there is absolutely no shortage of blue pill ideas in the mainstream media, and this like applies to real life as well. Like there is no shortage of blue pill ideas, and same thing can kind of be said for the red pill. Like it's not as many subscribers. Like you're looking from a few 100,000 to a million for like the promotion of red pill ideas. But then compared to the black pill, it's like nothing. We're looking anything from 10k to like 40,000. So right here, like we can see, you know, the evidence shows that, like we can see the blue pill is still the dominant ideology when it comes to attracting women, followed by the red pill, and then last of all, we have the black pill. So now I've got the evidence out of the way, I'm now going to go in depth for 6 reasons for why the black pill is still the least popular ideology and the most underrepresented, even despite the fact that like there is very strong evidence to suggest, with reasons to back up, which I've explained in the previous videos, that the black pill is probably the most relevant explanation of female dating behaviour, and looks do play a vital role, and with particular attention to your genetics, your face, your height, your race. And the first reason I want to go over for why the black pill is very underrepresented is because people fear judgment from others. They won't want to speak black pill ideas, so they will like instead advocate for virtue signalling. So if you're a man, you might think it's a wise idea to ask another man, maybe someone who's successful with dating, how to attract women, like what's the secret to your success. And if you ask another man, he will likely tell you, oh yeah, I'm just really confident, I'm confident in my approach, like I'm good at chatting them up, I'm good at making them laugh. Like they will usually tell you quite red-pilled ideas. Like they will tell you, oh yeah, I keep going to the gym, I try to wear nice clothes, like I take quite good care of like my myself, I groom quite well, like I like have a high attention to detail to like hair things, skincare, all things like that. So they will usually, if you ask a man who's like successful with women, he will tell you mostly red pill ideas, and that is true to some extent. Like those things do matter, but they will scarcely ever tell you black pill ideas. So they won't tell you, oh, it's because I'm like exceptionally tall, or they won't tell you, oh, it's because I have a naturally genetically good looking face. They will tell you it's because of the changes that they made in their behaviour, the things that like they did change, like the work ethic. Like they think they've put in a lot of hard work to go through like the attraction stages and attract women, pretty much. So like first you ask them, and you might find sometimes it could work, sometimes it wouldn't, but you think it would be an even better idea, instead of asking men to on how to attract women, do you think, oh, I should ask a woman, because who else would know more than how to attract women than the women themselves? Like of course they would know what they want. However, this wouldn't work either, because again, like it falls flat in virtue signalling. So if you're a man and you've ever asked a woman for dating advice, like how to attract girls, they will likely tell you these kind of things, very very blue-pilled sort of ideas. So they'll tell you it's about personality, being funny, reliable, being a gentleman, kind, like etc. So mostly like blue-pilled sort of ideas, and this isn't wrong. Don't get me wrong here. I want to make myself clear. Of course, like these things are absolutely important. Remember in the first video I made where I went over the tenets of the black pill, and these things are still like important. You need to have these things. However, it only paints half the picture. What she won't mention is like physical or genetic sort of things, because again, like she's fearing the judgment. She doesn't want to upset you or things that you can't change, because like it's pretty much gonna make her look like a bitch. She won't tell you that she has a preference of height. She won't tell you if she has a racial preference. She won't tell you anything physical or genetic, because it is shallow. It's shallow. Like she won't want to tell you these sort of beliefs. And just to go further in depth about this, like, so why do women virtue signal? Well, if we look at it from a biological perspective, it is like advantageous for women to tell men these things instead of these things. And there's a few things to note here. So like in primitive times, if a woman like women are biologically inclined to not cause upset to men, and I'm going to make myself very clear here. Most men are stronger than most women. And I know, like, I'm already going to have some triggered people in the comments, some triggered blue pillars, but that's just reality. I'm not saying that all men are stronger than all women, but it's just a fact and biology that most men are going to be stronger than most women. And if this woman does, like, is shallow and like, you know, does cause something to upset this man, and she says, oh no, I won't date you because you're too short, then he might get upset, and it causes a conflict, and he might be able to outstrength her and potentially rape her, or, like, God forbid, like, that's probably the worst case scenario. So she wants to avoid that conflict at all cost. However, if she tells this man these things, then he's going to, like, keep working harder. Like, that's the second thing about it, is that she will keep him around, and for, like, the emotional support, like, he will always be there. And if she does reach the point in her life where she hasn't secured a, like, higher value male, she will still have this man around, who's been working hard, like, pursuing, like, all of these things for, like, the last 10 years to try to improve on himself, so he can so this woman will always have this man as backup, like, because she's kind of kept him, like, stringing along for that amount of time. So, like, if I was going to sum up this whole reason, like, I think this is probably one of the biggest reasons, if not the biggest reason for why the black pill is underrepresented, is that most people, both men and women, would rather prefer to say a comforting lie rather than give a harsh reality. It's a lot easier to like, if you're a man, tell other men that, oh yeah, it's just about all of your confidence, because otherwise, like, he's going to come off pessimistic, nihilistic, bitter, like, if he does acknowledge the importance of looks and height and face, race, and if he does, like, talk about these things, he'll come off as bitter. So he's going to lie to men to avoid, like, those uncomfortable things. And the same thing goes for women, but in terms of the blue pill. So that's, like, the first reason that I've outlined. And just to, like, elaborate on this point further, I've picked out, like, a few headlines here. So these are questions posted on online forums, and if you're familiar with the friend zone as a man, then you will notice how women will come to you with, like, these sorts of problems. They'll tell you how much of an arsehole her boyfriend is, but she still can't stop loving him. But if her boyfriend is such an arsehole, then clearly he is lacking in these traits, like these things that she says are so important. So on that basis alone, that you know that there is something keeping her going, invested in that relationship, she still, like, wants to be with him outside of these reasons. So, like, that's the first reason, like, summed up as a whole, and some like examples to go with it. So now I've got the first reason out of the way, I'd now like to take this opportunity to ask you to like and comment on the video. It really helps with the growth of the channel, even if the comment is just to tell me, thank you for the video, I enjoyed it. Like, it all helps with motivation and building the interactions, which supports the YouTube algorithm. And secondly, feel free to leave any sort of criticism in the comment section below, either positive or negative. Like, this is the whole point of YouTube at the end of the day. Like, we're trying to encourage, like, discussion and discuss these complex ideas. So the second reason I've identified is the changing dating market. So if you watched my previous video on why the black pill is becoming more prevalent in 2021, you would have noticed that I said in the 1900s it was like the age of the warm approach, so to speak, where, like, most of the interaction and most of the attraction with women would have been all your other stuff, so your personality, your money, things like that. Meanwhile, in 2021, it's like looks is the most important. So why is this relevant? Well, if you ever ask your parents or your grandparents, like, and they're the first people that you're going to be exposed to, like, advice on, like, how to attract women from, like, what worked then, it might not work anymore. So, like, they were raised in this environment where it mostly was about all your other stuff, so that they will tell you, oh, like, what worked for them will work for you. But obviously things are completely different now, so they won't know, because they're absolutely not used to like, what the current, like, dating market is, and they won't know, like, how important the black pill and looks is in today's, like, dating scene when it comes to attraction. Now to the third reason, and this is, like, a very big reason. So I've summed it up as basically, and both the red pill and the black pill are fall victim to this, but if you were to, like, contrast it to, like, the political world, the black pill and also somewhat the red pill would be the politically incorrect ideologies. So like if we contrast it to like the political world, we see like companies like YouTube, Reddit, Facebook, all of the big tech companies, media outlets who like dominate the media nowadays. They will like ban like right wing ideas. They will flag their videos, they will demonetize them, or they will just flat out remove them because they don't want that voice. They have a left-leaning bias. When it comes to politics, conservatives will often get just chalked off by these media companies as being racist or sexist, and they will just remove their videos for it. Same goes with the red pill, like as I said at the start. So the red pill will get chalked off as being manipulative, trying to trick women like into falling in love with you. So they like the red pill channels that I mentioned earlier, like do have huge problems with like regarding like getting their videos like monetized and things like that, but they do have a way around that. So you'll notice that most of the red pill channels I mentioned earlier, they've been able to outsource their like content. So they have, most of them have programs where they like, or courses where they like are able to make money from there. So they like outsource all of their content off of these big platforms where they do have like more freedom of speech, more wiggle room to voice their opinion. And Blackpill like gets even more like problems with the like censorship thing. So like I've listed a few things here. So Reddit infamously banned the two biggest incel forums, r/incels and brain cells too, like because, and they did do it for those reasons, because they said it was misogynistic, so they just outright banned them. Again, as I said, like removing controversial videos, like they will chalk off Blackpill ideas, people spreading Blackpill ideas, because like they view it as misogynistic or sexist, or if you dare speak about the race pill, that's probably the most controversial opinion of the black pill, like it will just be chalked off as racist. And the last point is probably the biggest reason, like, or for why media censorship is bad, is demonetization. Because, and what this leads to, if a channel gets demonetized, it means that you can't post ads on your videos, which means no money can be made from it, and that means there is absolutely no reason for companies such as YouTube to promote the channel or their videos, because they're not profiting off it. Remember, YouTube's a business like anything else. They want to make money, so while they like these videos are a liability at this point, they're just using up resources like their servers to host these Blackpill videos as a like on their platforms. And the fourth reason that I want to go over quickly is that men refuse to acknowledge that women can be shallow. So if we like look at history, like men have painted a picture of women being these angelic beings, like beautiful, like innocent, can never like do any wrong. They are completely innocent, harmless. Like if you look at religion, you'll often see like angels being depicted as women, while devils and demons like usually going to be depicted as male creatures. And like this, and because of this, like men refuse to believe that women like can be on a superficial level. So they so even if men like do have evidence to suggest, or like feelings to suggest that women aren't as like innocent as they seem, and they do like have superficial tendencies, then they will choose to like shun those beliefs away, because it like it hurts them emotionally. So those are the four reasons that I've outlined, and there are 6 in total, but I'll go over them in a future video, because they are like probably the 2 biggest reasons, and they both need a video for each of themselves. So just to like recap on all of the reasons, you won't be told about the importance of looks. Reason number 1, women won't tell you, because they want to virtue signal. Like it all goes back to the same idea, like they don't want to be viewed as prejudice or discriminatory against men for things that they can't change. Meanwhile, other men won't tell you, because they fear being perceived as like bitter, pessimistic, nihilistic if they tell you that the black pill like is a reality. Your parents and grandparents won't tell you, like again, like really important, because this is like the first sort of exposure that like young men will ever get, educating themselves on the attraction of women. And that is simply because they were used to a completely different dating environment, like when they were brought up. So what worked then doesn't work now. Number 3, like probably one of the biggest reasons, the media like has a virtue signaling bias. So, and they will silence anyone that they disagree with by banning videos, demonetization, etc. And then lastly, you yourself won't tell yourself that looks matter because you refuse to believe that women can be shallow. Like, as I say, like, men have painted this picture of women as being beautiful, angelic beings. Like, it's impossible for them to like possibly have like superficial tendencies, like caring about looks. So if like men like are deluding themselves, and they would rather delude themselves into believing that women aren't as superficial as they seem. And the last two points that I said I will go over in a future video, and both of these are like huge, but like I can't fit it all in this video alone. It will already be too long. Is PUA and coping, and I'm going to, especially coping, I'm going to like present that in a way that you would have never even thought of or seen before. Like, and it's just all going to make sense of why the black pill is completely underrepresented. So here are your reasons, and you can make your own conclusions from what you think of it, and that's it.